Hey everyone, it's Dave from BCBushcraft here, and today's video I'm going to be doing a little video on my scout pouch. So let's start off with the pouch itself. The pouch itself is leather. I actually found this at a thrift store. It's got a belt loop, which is pretty sweet, and it was a really awesome find for me. I mean, it's a nice size and it can kind of just fit on my belt really easily. So I'm going to show you here. It will definitely change. I've already done a video on this. It was one of my first videos, was on Scout Survival Kit, and this is my 2.0 version. So something like this is always changing, and it's totally dependent on the environment and what you're doing. I've actually tried to strop on it, and it works pretty well. It's really thin, and it gives a nice edge on some of my knives. The front pouch, I keep my fat wood, at least for the time being. I have a few reasonably sized chunks of Western red cedar fat wood that I have found. And this is kind of my version of waterproofing it. Putting it in a plastic bag, and a plastic bag is always useful. I got several plastic bags in this kit. I have a lot more fat wood and some stormproof matches and waterproof matches. Some other things I might put in that front pouch might be power bars and etc. Stuff like that. Next up, I have this big plastic bag, which is a drum liner. This is the size of the bag that I have in it, and it's actually a really large size, fairly heavy duty. It was a drum liner bag, I guess, so I don't know what that means, but nonetheless, this will help me. It's a great weatherproofing in survival situations and stuff like that. And you can see how big it is. So you can make that into a poncho, collect rainwater, do all sorts of things with a sheet of plastic like that. Also with this Scout pouch that I have, it's got these two little metal things on here, so you can put like a rope and kind of like throw it over your shoulder if you want to, but I clip on here a whistle, compass, and thermometer, and it's just cheap Coughlin's brand type thing. It's nothing special, button compass or whatever. I just clip it on like that, and it's just something to have that's useful. So moving on, this is my survival tin. My personal survival kit is in here. This is a metal tin, and I put these rubber bands to keep it on. Keep the lid on. At the very bottom of the pouch, I have some plastic bags that can help me purify water and things like that. It's quite big, so I might be able to, you could put at least 2 liters of water, maybe a little bit more in here. Drop some purification tablets into it, and you got some drinking water. In here I have a few more plastic bags for foraging and whatever I want to do. So on to my actual survival kit. It's in a tin. I put these these rubber bands on it just to keep the lid on because it can pop off. It's useful to have your kit in a metal tin because you can do things with a tin that you otherwise can't do with plastic, so that helps. So first off, I have a lighter because even though we all want to be cool and do everything by ferro rods and bushcraft, which I'm 99% of the time will have this on me if I'm in a survival situation, just because I wear it on my belt and stuff too. But a lighter makes making fire that much easier, and I'm not stupid enough not to bring one. So a lighter is definitely coming with me. I have a Mylar blanket, which is my second piece to my shelter system. So I can use the big plastic bag that I had shown you, the drum liner, to line my, make a tarp out of that, or a poncho or something, and then I can use this as for heat and insulation to reflect heat back from a fire and all those sorts of things. You can do other things with Mylar blankets. I think you can maybe even boil water with it and things like that, water collection, all those things. So this is something that could save your life in cold temperatures. This is my survival knife that I specifically designed to fit in my tin. This is made out of a Sawzall blade. I've done a video on this before, and it's a knife that I created, and it's from a reciprocating saw blade, and I kept the teeth on it, so if I need to saw, I can use that. And it's just a survival blade, backup knife type thing. If I needed to be, I can use it. I have this piece of bandage too that I can use with duct tape to put over a wound and duct tape it as part of my first aid kit. I have some gauze, I think this is too, that is highly absorbent, and it's meant for wounds. Both these things I keep for wounds. What my survival kit looks like on the inside. So I have a roll of duct tape about that big, which can be used for multiple things. It's mostly going to be like my first aid. I'm not going to really use it as cordage, and I might, I could use it for fire and things like that, but I probably wouldn't. This is water purification tablets. This is about 10 liters of water if it's running, and 5 liters if it's like a murky pool. I have a small mirror in here, which can be used to look at myself while I'm filming. Yeah, mirrors are useful for, it's good to have a mirror in your kit. Small ones are fine. You can use it for signaling and stuff like that. This is just a soap towel to, disinfect my hands if I haven't, to keep things clean. Same with these alcohol pads. They do the same thing, sterilize wounds. I have 2 bouillon cubes to help with salt intake and electrolytes. It's mostly just for flavor and salt that I carry these around with me, because the survival kit, what it's meant for is to prolong your survival in the woods, and salt next to water is very important, and if you have salt, then you're going to last longer. And I have just a package of sugar, brown sugar, just to give me a boost or pick me up. I have a little slice of fat wood to help with fire lighting. I have these 2 cotton ball Vaseline things to help with fire lighting as well. So I have a lot of fire lighting things. I have a package of ibuprofen, which if I break my leg, I will take a ton of those. I have hooks and flies for fishing on this makeshift tiny bobber that I cut off the tip of. So I have a variety of hooks. I have 2 3-pronged hooks, one on that end, one on that end. A series of flies meant for river and for lakes, and some hooks that are meant for ocean, because I have all of those water types around me. I would say this is around 20 feet of fishing line. I believe this is, I can't remember if I put 10-pound test or 20-pound test, but I put heavier test than I would for just lakes and rivers if I was just going for trout, because because I have ocean around me, I want a stronger line. A little button compass to supply me with another guide to this compass as well. I have a few tiny little weights. I have some pills down here. This is Imodium. This is for diarrhea relief, so I don't dehydrate myself. I have some more matches, waterproof matches, wet-proof, rainproof matches. A small, I think this is ferrocerium. I'm not entirely sure on that one. So let me just show you that this came off of a magnesium bar that I actually have sitting over here. It popped off. Like, I don't really like using these things, but this is also useful, but I never bring it with me. But this is part of that kind of set. It can give me sparks with this knife here. If I do it right, you can see I can get sparks with it. So that's another useful thing for fire. This is my striker. I have some thread with some needles to sew whatever, skin or clothing. I have 2 razor blades to, if I need to do whatever, slicing and things like that. I have two of these strips for lighting the matches, and right at the bottom I have a square of tin foil, so I can make a pot or boil water or do various things, and it's useful to have a square tinfoil. It doesn't take up much space. So that is everything inside of my personal survival kit, survival tin, and my scout pouch. And this is my version 2.0, and I'll probably have a version 3.0 because I will definitely change things. And if you guys see any holes in my kit, please send a message or a comment, because nothing's perfect, and I'm always trying to improve on everything, just like you guys are. So until then, I hope you guys have a good one. This is Dave from BC Bushcraft. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. Please like, please throw a comment, and I'll catch you on the next one.